Welcome back to your favorite podcast, But Do You Have a Real Job? With your host, Mario Mitchell.
It's me, Mario.
So, what is up?
Nothing much, dude.
I didn't know what was going on right before I called. I had heard a bunch of ruckus in my hall. I was like, what is that?
Oh, shit.
Noise? I was like, I might need to go check that out. And I was like, nah, whatever. If it comes near my apartment, then I'll check it out, but it's not my business. I don't want to get involved. So anyways, we're back on the podcast. We are here with Court. Is your name Courtney or is it Court?
It is Courtney, but I go by Court. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Man, you're the vocalist for a band called Levinia. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
You are pronouncing it 100% correct.
There we go. You ever get any weird pronunciations of it? Or
Yeah, our bassist says Levinia. But he's from Louisiana, so I think that's just where he's from type thing. But it's Levinia. It's just spelled kind of weird, so it's all good though.
people call me Mario even after knowing my name is Mario. I'm like, dude, why would you call me Mario? That doesn't even make sense. So you guys are based. You guys aren't based out of Louisiana. You're based out of.
No, we're based out of LA.
Oh, okay.
LA and Orange County. Two of us live here in Orange County, and the other two live in the LA area.
Yeah,
so
that's the place to be over there. I'm trying to get more west, at least to Vegas. I don't know about LA.
Oh, Vegas is the place to be though, dude, because you can get like a mansion for like nothing. Out here, it's kind of pricey a little bit out here.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
Yeah,
and I come from Missouri. I'm like, I'm not gonna go out and pay those LA prices.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right, I live in this apartment and it's $525 a month, and I live alone.
Whoa!
It's like basically free. I mean, not free, but it's cheap.
That's a great deal.
When you're living in LA, if you had an apartment like this, it'd be $2,500 plus.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean more. I mean, $2,500. That's cheap.
That's a lot. Well, yeah, for cheap.
Well, over there.
Well, over here, it's like my rent has tripled in I've lived here for this is my 4th year living in this apartment, and it's tripled.
It's went up every year?
Yeah, every year it's gone up.
Wow.
And I love it
there.
About $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom.
No. Two bedrooms, that's good.
It's a 2-bedroom. I have 2 bedrooms just because I need an office kind of, so. Yeah.
What part of Orange County are you in?
I'm in Tustin, so I'm in kind of like middle Orange County kind of type.
Okay. So you're in a good spot overall.
I'm in a really good spot. I mean, I work. It's 20 minutes to every single one of my jobs. It's perfect. So I can't complain. So
and being in Orange County, you don't have to deal with the LA traffic at least.
Oh God, no. I mean, I do have to drive to LA a lot, but thankfully there's no wood around me. But knock on wood, that yeah, it's crazy though.
Yeah, I need to come out to the West. How is it living out there, being in a band? Like a metal band? You're not really a metal band, I guess. You're
well, we are a metal band. What we consider ourselves to be a modern symphonic metal band. So 3 of us, we are really into the European metal scene and everything, and we draw inspiration from a lot of European metal bands. And since I am an opera singer by trade,
dude, that's so funny. I was just telling my friend, I was like, yeah, I'm doing this podcast for this band. I was like, this chick sounds like she should be an opera. That's word for word what I said.
That's what I'm trained in. I'm trained in opera and classical singing. And so we like to embody kind of the European kind of like symphonic metal scene. So we do have the metal influence, but we do have the modern metal. I'm sorry, I can't talk. The modern metal elements that are seen kind of within metalcore and hard rock and stuff. And that was kind of brought in from our bass player, Casey. When he came and he joined our band, because he kind of changed our sound for the better. And our producer had a huge say in that too. And we've just evolved, and it's great. So we're kind of like our own genre in a way, which is really cool, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You have a unique sound, because there's already not many women vocalists as a front person, right? And then it's very rare that it's in a metal band, right? So you got that already, and then you've got your opera singing on top of that. So it's like a whole new thing. It's so weird, where we're at. Like, we're all changing things up, doing new things.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. And it's surreal in a way, too. It's like, like, for instance, our drummer and our guitarist and myself, like I said, we all love, like, bands like Camelot, Epica, Amaranth, Sabaton, bands like that. We love the European metal scene so much, and that's what we really connect with. But we realized that when it came down to it, being an American band, and even in California, it was going to be a challenge doing just the straight up cookie cutter symphonic metal stuff. So we're like, oh shit, we gotta. I'm sorry for my language. We gotta.
No worries. You can do whatever.
We gotta evolve, and we gotta make it so it's appealing to a wide variety of people. And working with our producer Charles Callahan, he's really helped us out with that. And Casey also brought that whole element too. And we kind of realized, we were sitting there one day and we were listening to our stuff, and we're just like, oh my God, like we're our own kind of like, we have that modern metal element, and we have a symphonic metal element, and it's like kind of meshed into this weird thing, but it works. That's the beauty of it. That's my 2 cents at least.
Right. Yeah. So. I think having a producer helps a million times more than just recording on your own, writing on your own. They help you write, they help you record. They put little things in there that you would have never even thought of.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And yeah, a lot of people need to get some producers in their life.
We do, and we're very blessed to have one who really, does not like hold anything back. He tells us the truth straight up, and we can trust him. It's no BS, and I love that, to be honest.
Right? So yeah. Whenever you're telling me like, dude, you're sucking this up, you need to do it better.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, it's like, oh, that sounds like shit. Now. Do it again.
Right. Yeah. Like, all right, at least you're doing that and not just recording it, hitting the button, saying, all right, let's make that the take. Let's do it.
Exactly. So we're very lucky to have that, and have people in our lives who are actually really supportive of this genre and this style and stuff. So we're really, really well off with that whole aspect.
How did you find the band? Like, how did you guys all find each other?
They actually found me, believe it or not. Our guitarist and our drummer, John and Dylan. Dylan's our drummer, John's our guitar player. They were in a band called Arius back in the day, and that was a power metal band. And I think Dylan was like in high school. John was in his early 20s. That was like their band for a couple years. That project ended, and the two of them decided, oh, whoa, we should like continue, and they started a band, Levinia, which was our original name before we changed it to Levinia. And so they just started writing, and then I was in an indie rock band, kind of indie pop rock band, believe it or not, before I became a metal singer.
I mean, you do a lot of things before you finally find really what you want to do.
Yeah, right. And I liked working with those people, but I realized it wasn't something I wanted to do long term. Right. But they kept messaging me when I was in that band, and I kept turning them down and saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not looking for anything right now. And then the time came when I actually was kind of shopping for like a new band in a way, or a new project. And they hit me up again. They hit me up like maybe 3 times, like in the course of maybe 8 months or something like that, to audition for them. And I did. And I'm never going to forget this, because I had just started grad school. And I literally auditioned for them maybe the first week of grad school, and got in. And it was a huge change. And so that was really cool that they found me in a way.
Right.
Liked me enough to actually have me come and sing for them, which was really cool. I hadn't really had bands or people for that matter, musicians for that matter, like reach out to me and say, oh, hey, we really want you to audition for us. That was kind of new thing.
Did you have to drop out of grad school, or did you stay in grad school to finish that up, of course?
About 3.5 weeks ago from graduate school.
Oh, you just graduated? Hell yeah. Congrats on that.
Thank you. But yeah, no, I stuck with grad school when I was doing this. But then when Casey, for him, I found him on Bandmix. That's a website for like, it's like Craigslist for musicians. I found him, and I messaged him. I'm not like one day, and he just was like, yeah, I'm, whatever. He was a guitar player, first and foremost. And then, he's like, yeah, I can play bass. That's cool. And, he came on, and he literally changed our sound for the better. And I'm so grateful to have him in our group. And he actually just joined Assuming We Survive. So he's playing with them too, but he's also still playing with us. It's really cool. We have a great group of people, and it's like, we're like family. They're like my brothers. So I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, because once you're in a band with other people, you need to be cool, because you don't want a lot of toxic energy hanging around all the time.
Nah, exactly. Like, I do get mad at them sometimes, but the thing is that at the end of the day, we are like a family. So it's just like, whatever, they blow it off, I blow it off, we're fine.
Right. So how long have you guys been around for?
I say about 2 years with the complete lineup. So, about 2 years.
Okay. So you said you're like into a lot of the European metal. Do you promote in Europe, or play shows in Europe at all?
We're looking to 100%.
Right.
We don't really at the moment, but we're trying to get into that whole scene over there. We have connections out there, obviously, and we're hitting them up to like, you know, make any sort of like kind of connection or any like in we can get from them. They're very like gracious and stuff like that with from that aspect of like giving us like opportunities and giving us contacts and stuff like that. So it's been good, but it's difficult. But that I think that's anything when you're starting out. It's just one of those things where you're just like, oh, like I need to almost like push it, you know. And
even if you're not just starting out, you gotta get all your people in one room at one time. Then you gotta book the tour. Then you gotta or have a manager book it or a booking agent. Then you have to pay for the van or whatever the tickets that you're gonna get there. Then you gotta, it's a whole process, and it takes a lot of time and money. And a lot of fans are like, please come to Europe, please to Germany, come here. It's
or
like
come to Canada, whatever. Yeah,
right.
Like I could, I would love to. Right.
It's hard to even drive one state away and play a show. It's like I can barely come to another country.
Exactly. It's like, I have a passport, but there's elements that do come into play before you can even book a show or even like go and fly out there. It's like you have to do all these steps, and it's a little bit difficult, but we're trying. We really are, and it's interesting. Like any like European metal band that comes out here, we have friends who do like interviews with them and stuff like that online and YouTube and everything. And they've been really, really cool with like introducing us and stuff like that. So it's really cool. But the thing is that it's hard because it's like that kind of elevator minute kind of type thing where you have to pitch yourself in like a minute before, and because you don't have a long time to talk to these people. You have to like sell yourself. And that's the difficult part in my opinion. It's really
even when you're promoting online, like scrolling, like you have to get somebody to stop their scroll to look at your stuff. Like, how do you guys get your stuff out there so people are stopping and looking at it and saying, yo, I want to check out this band? How do you guys get that to happen?
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. I've learned a lot in the past couple of years with doing a lot of like the management side of things. We're very independent right now, obviously. We're looking for managers too, but it's all DIY when you're the first couple of years when you're trying to like get out there. And I've learned so much, not only from like just from Lavinia's standpoint, but from my own personal like solo music and stuff like that. Like I've learned so much, and I will take things that I've learned from like promoting my solo music, and I'm like, I'll tell the boys, I'm like, hey, let's try this, and they're like, never thought of it that way. Oh yeah, let's try it, and then it works. So it's like kind of trial and error, but it's a constant process. But you learn a lot, and it's interesting to me because like how I kind of promote things and stuff like that, it kind of does apply to like my real life too, my real life job or whatever. So it's not like all for nothing. So.
Yeah, sure. And I think, it's good that you have a real job and do the music on the side. A lot of people think, you know what, I'm going to give up my job. I want to be a musician full time, and it doesn't work out. And then they have kids, and then they have to quit music entirely and, live that life. Like, I don't want to do that.
Nah, I mean, I'm very lucky that my job is very flexible enough. I work as I'm a teacher. I'm an English teacher, basically. That's what I got my graduate degree in.
Really? You'd think it wouldn't be that flexible,
Well, I can teach online.
Oh, okay.
Like I could travel the world and teach online and be totally fine.
Right.
So a tutor as well. So it's like I have some flexibility there, but other people like my guitar player, John, he's an EMT. So it's like you're very like you have to find jobs that are like flexible with you being a musician and having those hours and everything. So you have to find that kind of niche, like what you want to do with your life. And I would love nothing more than to be a musician and tour all the time.
Oh yeah, right. That's the dream right there.
100%.
Right. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and then nobody would want to do it.
Of course.
So it's just I don't know. It's just a different world being a musician when you put your feelings and your thoughts into a song, and then you put it out there, and somebody's like, "Dude, that changed my life." It's like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's hard, but I'm very grateful to have so many people in my life who are very supportive of me, and my bosses, even my professors are like super supportive of me, and I love it. And it was. Right. I'm so grateful to have that, like kind of like people rallying around you and supporting you no matter what. Like, it's great.
We hate our life. We need you to make it and get it out of here. Go live that dream.
Go do it.
Please do it so we can come with you and do it.
Exactly.
Do you guys think like you have like an edge, like a more of a, maybe not an edge, but somewhat of an edge because you're like a girl fronted rock band or metal band. Because a lot of people are dude fronted. So when you have a girl in the front, it's like, okay, who is this? Or is that not right? Or is
Yes
it the
and no.
opposite?
This is kind of like a weird question. I not to step on anybody's
Oh, right.
toes or anything, but I am a feminist when it comes to this kind of like subject. Because the genre we sing in, it's a very much male dominated
Oh, yeah.
genre, obviously. But it's very ironic to me that the bands in metal who are the most popular are the female fronted ones.
Yeah. There's a lot of them right now, too.
There's a whole lot of them, but the thing is that the ones who get recognition are the ones like or who are deemed to be like the best of the best and stuff like that. They're male fronted. And so I would say just yes and no. I mean, we have some appeal obviously in the Europe, like I said, the European scene. Totally, like, it's amazing that you have a female fronted band. But in America, it's a little bit different.
Oh, yeah.
So it just depends on where you're at, I feel like. But yeah, it just depends on where you're at. I think we have had many opportunities. Like there's a lot of like radio shows and stuff like that who play our stuff because it's considered to be a female fronted metal radio show, and they'll play us.
Right.
Awesome and amazing. But I honestly think I would love a world where this is perfect world scenario. Obviously, I would love a world where both male fronted and female fronted would be equal, and it's not a genre being a female fronted band. It's just you're a singer, you're a metal band, as opposed to female fronted or male fronted. So that's my long-winded answer to that. So
right. That was a cool answer, right? I've had one band where a girl was actually the singer. And it's like it felt like to me at the time I was like, people are only coming to the show because we have her. It's like, this isn't right, man. This is messed up. But it was her friend. It was like she was popular. I was like, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some things that when you're on stage, you have to dress a little sexier and stuff like that. If you're a girl, like if you're a male fronted band, you can get away with just jeans and a t-shirt.
Literally.
But literally, you can get away with it. Girls, you can't really do that, I feel like. But like I said, it's just depends on where you're at and stuff. So
yeah, the music scene is just weird. Back in the day,
it is weird.
I don't know about out there, but we had what we called scene kids. You probably had them out there.
Oh God, yeah,
but,
I was one of them.
Yeah, dude, we were all little scene kids. We were booking shows for scene kids. What the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of like the scene and emo scene were really. I kind of like to forget about that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Because emo was super popular when I was in high school. Like when I first started high school, that was like a huge thing. And I'm never going to forget my friend telling me, she's like, "Oh yeah, are you emo court?" And I'm like, what the hell is emo?
Right.
Like,
I don't know what that means.
Describe me. Yeah, I had no idea what it meant. And then it turned into like this huge phenomenon, this huge like just genre of music, and the scene too. It's like it was just that whole thing. And I think we all became like in the early 2000s, early 2000s to the late 2000s, like 01 to 09. It was a huge deal, I feel like. So yeah, that was like a
yeah, it was like the local shows were always doing well. People could go on tour any time they wanted because people would show up. But now it's like, I'm good. I'm not going to a show. Nobody goes to local shows anymore. Nobody really cares. Everybody's wrapped up in their iPhones.
It's a very much an online scene now. I think it's very online. It's very, you have to have a very strong and prominent online presence.
Oh, yeah.
Which
is
kind of
like. You guys have a pretty strong online presence? Do you guys stay online?
We do actually. Yeah, we do. We don't post as much as we used to just because I'm in charge of like our Instagram accounts and stuff like that. And I have been kind of failing at posting. But
I understand that.
But we do. Yeah, we have a strong presence. We have a lot of fans and stuff like that online and all over the world, in the US, Canada, Mexico, whatever. We're very, very lucky to have people who actually care about what we're doing. And when we're releasing new music soon even, and we're having people messaging us telling us that it's like they're so stoked about like the new stuff, and it's kind of like a breath of fresh air in a way, because it's like we don't have people coming to our shows per se, but we have a strong online presence where people actually do give a shit. So
yeah, we're living in a different world now where you don't have to play shows all the time for people to know about who you are.
No, exactly. Like it's all online, I feel like now, and
yeah.
That's where we're headed.
And you got to get back on your shit. I got to get back on my shit. I don't post that much, and that's the big problem in the online world if you don't post, they're gonna look at somebody else's feed and they're gonna get lost, and you're no longer at the top of their page because they didn't see your stuff or like it. It sucks.
Oh yeah, it's like the whole algorithm thing is so messed up now. Like seriously,
right. I was just talking about that. It's terrible.
Really, God, it's absolutely terrible. It's like, just God help us out, guys.
It's not even help us out. Just undo what you did.
Yeah, just undo what you did. And
because they had it where whenever it was like a new post, you would see it, the newest.
Oh
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, you might like this. Like I've seen this 10 times. I don't want to see it anymore.
No, exactly. Especially with those ads and stuff like that too. I've seen like maybe the same ad for the past like 5 or 6 days every morning when I'm on like looking, scrolling. I'm like, what? Come on.
They just always put I'm like, I don't want ads on my thing.
I don't either. It's and you're absolutely right. It's like, bring it back to where like you have our post going to the top, like have us like, building that presence more and more and more until we get to a point where we have a fan base that actually cares or wants to come see us or who wants to support us, and as opposed to like posting something and paying money to make it higher up. That's stupid. I mean, I
even you and me being consumers, like when I refresh, I want to see the newest post, right? I want to see what's happening right now, what's happening right this second. I don't want to see something happen 2 days ago. I'm over that, Yeah. It's like
I really agree.
It's just the online world, but it's weird because now I don't really know if you need a label anymore. Do you think we need a label now, like in this world that we're in?
Yes and no, because I feel like a label can give you like things that like management and everything like that, like giving you opportunities to get more followers and everything. But
what opportunities do you think that they could give you that
I feel like for like us, like my band in particular, we'd get more of an American audience as opposed to a large European audience. I'm sorry, I can't talk. A large European audience is like great for us right now, but we want to break into the American metal scene because that's where we live in, obviously. And we'd love to go play a show in like, I don't know, like Vegas or something like that, and have people actually show up. As opposed to, we're posting on Facebook every 5 seconds and like telling our friends, hey, I'll buy you a drink if you come see me. Like I'd rather, so I feel like a label could bring more people in. But at the same time, you can release your own music like we have independently and still have amazing following, but you're not broad. So like you said earlier, it takes a lot to travel somewhere.
And especially when there's only like maybe a few of people or a select amount of people that are in this one place, and they're all kind of spread out sporadically, and you're like, I can't go all the way to Germany to play to 3 people. I would love to do that, right? But it's like it's not feasible.
It's not feasible. So and plus it costs a lot of money and stuff like that because we're all paying out of pocket right now. So we're very like monetary conscious, and I feel like maybe a label could help kind of fuel the monetary like kind of aspect of things in a way. But at the end of the day, like they'll probably dictate what kind of stuff you're releasing, and and you may think, well, this is shit. Like I don't want to like release this. I don't want to write this. It's not my style. But there's pros and cons. I feel like in music, there's pros and cons to everything. And at the end of the day, you almost have to like list them down, saying, okay, what's the pro to having a label? What's the con to having a label? What's the pro to having management? What's the con? It's like always like a push, like one of our songs. It's a push and pull in a way.
It's hard. You got to make that decision. You're selling your soul away, basically. And you hope you get a good deal. And I think that has a lot to do with the label you're getting on. Like, do you really want to be a small artist on a big label, or do you want to be a bigger small artist on a small label? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally does.
I think I'd rather be the most important person on the label than, if I'm on Bieber's label. Like those people don't care about me.
Yeah, exactly. Nah.
Like I'm just a freaking guy down here. They love Bieber. And Bieber, like those people have no problem selling out shows. I hate it.
No, dude, it drives me nuts. I mean, I listen to all sorts of music, and like, it's funny you brought that up because like one of my favorite artists, like I love Idina Menzel. She's one of my favorite singers. I liked her before Frozen. Anybody who like gets on my ass about that,
I don't know who that is even.
she sang "Let It Go," which is like
okay, I know the song. I don't even know the song. I know of it. Yeah.
And I'm kind of a nerding out right now, but I'm a musical theater kind of a geek in a way. And and I love her.
Well, you said you were doing opera, so that would make sense.
Oh yeah, I love musical theater. Like I was I did a lot of musicals in high school and stuff like that, and I love it, and it's my guilty pleasure in a way. But I love her voice, and like she got signed, I think, to his like Bieber's management, Scooter Braun's like management or something like that, you know. And she's like, and I've loved her voice for years, and I'm sitting there going, I don't know how this is gonna like help you, like, you know.
At least, yeah, I'll give you that. Like, I don't know why. Two things that you just said. One thing, I don't know why you would sign when you've already got the credibility. Yeah. You've already done that. Why do you need Scooter Braun to do something that you could basically do now? But two, you know. Now you got Scooter Braun. You've seen the stuff with Taylor Swift, I assume.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
He
I have a whole totally different issue on that, like opinion about that. Like that's like I think she should have read her contract.
Well, yeah, I think both things. It's like I agree because I'm if he bought the rights to it, I'm like, well, it is what it is. He bought it. It's like it does suck, but it's his now.
She signed something.
Right, you signed to the label.
Yeah, like she was signed to the label. She signed something saying, "Oh yeah, you can have this." And
right,
it's like,
exactly.
Almost like if you're going to use it as fuel to complain, then something's wrong. And that's like all her fans are like surrounding her and stuff like that. I'm just like, just read the freaking contract, dude. Like legit, it's not hard. Hire a lawyer. Like they can get through the legal jargon and they can explain things. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, on that side, it's like, well, it is what it is. Fuck you. It's like, I get that, but I'm also on the artist side, like, holy shit. I can't ever.
I see it from her perspective.
I'm on both sides, but like, also, that's what I was going to say. Like, that's a con to being on a label. It's like, now you don't even control the music that you thought you controlled because your label owner that you were cool with sold it to some guy you're not cool with now. And he's like, haha, fuck you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I get that. And I do see both. I'm one of those people. I always like to see both sides of the issue before I get an opinion. Right. But I do feel like she could have done something if she wanted to.
Yeah, it's like Taylor Swift. You're Taylor Swift. You're like one of the biggest artists of all time. You can figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, she's smart enough. I feel like to have been able to think that through.
Right. It's like I don't really get it. It's like she wanted to do some sort of concert with all of her songs, and she wasn't allowed to. I can't remember what it all was. It's just dumb.
It is dumb. It's just weird.
It's like, didn't you just put out like a new CD or something? I don't know.
Yeah, just perform the new stuff. Like, come on. Like,
I really hate that she started getting into politics. One, I'm like, for one, and I didn't really put out a political song. I put out like a song saying basically fuck the government, you know, in a way. But it's like, I hate when musicians really go political and polarize their fans one way or the other. Like, Taylor didn't talk about politics up until like a year or two maybe ago. Yeah. And then she finally comes out. I'm like, that's a bad move. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You leave your opinion to yourself. That's a professional thing. Just leave that to yourself and put out.
Yeah, no, I say the same thing because it's just like, you know, I like to keep politics myself between friends and family. That's it. Right. Nobody else is going to hear my opinion because they won't care what I have to say. And I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm totally happy with that. I'd rather talk about issues like, you know, going through an abusive relationship, like getting through that and becoming a stronger person because of, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather talk about that kind of
I like shit that you can actually change, like stuff that you are in control of. Like, like you said, abusive relationship. You're just a bad person in general. Not even like you're being abused. Maybe you're the abuser, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that you can fix with yourself. But I was talking about that earlier. A lot of people play video games. A lot of people do some shit that's not really productive. Mm-hmm. And it's not really wrong to have hobbies, right? Playing games is
no. I'm not saying that whatsoever. It's like
I'm not saying that either.
I I'm not a gamer per se, just because I'm terrible at video games, but absolutely terrible. But that's awesome that you play it because you have the patience to sit there and do it. I don't. Right. I would get so bored. I would be like, I'm sorry, I have to go somewhere. Like I have to do something like productive in my day.
And that's the sucky part about being a musician too, because people are so quick to change the channel. Like if they've heard your song for more than like a couple of weeks, it's not new anymore. It's old news. They've already heard a new song. So now you're like, I need to put out new shit every 2 weeks, every month, every 2 months.
Or really hype up the shit that you've recorded. You know what I mean? Right. Like you have to really hype it up and be like, oh, yo, okay, I have this new song coming out. It's going to be like the best thing ever. Like you really have to hype it up. And I feel like that's the difference between like nowadays and artists like earlier in the decade and stuff like that. It's
the decade. That's weird.
The decade. I can't believe it.
We just ended a decade. That's so weird. Right?
I know. Now I said it, and I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, it's weird. I was typing something today. I was like 29. Wait a minute, 2020. What the hell? I can't believe we're actually in 2020 right now.
Exactly. I'm like, I feel old. Great.
I remember the millennium. They were like, your computers are all going to shut down and everything's going to go crazy. I'm like, what the hell?
Exactly.
I was freaked out. I was like, I'm actually scared right now. What's going to happen at midnight? And nothing happened. It was just normal. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah. It was
Luckily,
like on the news.
and then we had the 2012 thing where I think you're going to die. I was kind of stoked for that. I was like, that'd be nuts.
Yeah.
And there's always some weird shit out there. The media just, I don't know. Not even just people on the internet just put things out there and everybody hears it. It's kind of fucking weird. We live in a weird time.
It's an interesting time where people will believe something and not do the research themselves and try to check if it's fake or not. Or
dude, so many times you'll never get to a source. Like you'll read I can never read the news anymore, no matter who's writing it. It's so hard because I just can't care about no bullshit narrative. Because everybody's got it. Doesn't matter who it is. I don't want to read it if it's got a bullshit narrative. So usually I'll see a headline. It'll say blah blah blah, and you're like, okay, that's weird. So then you click it and you look for the source, right? Where'd this come from? And then it's another news. So you click on that news website. Okay, where'd they source it from? And then eventually it's just nobody was sourcing anything. It was just some made up crap from the news. It was
made up rumor. Yeah.
To get people talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot what our conversation was even about, but
I don't either at this point.
Yeah, I was like, what was the initial?
What are we doing?
It was like, what was the initial question here? We're thinking about I forgot. It was about politics and it was about social media or something. Something about Taylor Swift. Thanks a lot, Taylor Swift.
I enjoy some of her songs, but whatever.
I went to see a Taylor Swift concert once, and that was insane.
I did too, actually. I saw her. I think when she first did her Fearless tour. I think her first CD. Whenever that was, I don't remember what it was.
I've seen her more recently than that. Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I saw her when she first was starting out, and my friend dragged me to go see her, and I wasn't really stoked. And I kind of saw her, and I'm like, I'm not a fan of her music. But she has great stage presence. Anybody says she has great stage presence, and that's hard to do. That's so hard to do as an artist. And she's just one person, and she had all her backup dancers and everything, but she's out, and that was hard. That's hard. And I had so much respect for her. And it was just one of those things. It was just kind of like it was just a moment. You're sitting there going, well, forget about what I think about her. Like, my God, she's an amazing performer. That's great. That's awesome. I wish I could.
Crazy. Right. Yeah. Because when I used to perform at first, you go on stage and you're just kind of standing there, you don't know what to do. And then
it's so hard. It's so awkward too.
Dude, it's so awkward. You just stand there and everybody, literally, they're all looking right at you, like in your eyeballs, staring at you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh crap, what am I doing now?
Right. It wasn't until I realized, I'm like, okay, these people are here to see a show. I'm here to put on a show. If I'm awkward, they're going to be like, this guy's awkward. Boo. Yeah, it's awkward. You ever play any terrible shows?
Oh God, yeah. I've played many terrible shows, and I'm still getting used to like the whole rock talk aspect of things.
Yeah. What's up, motherfuckers?
I don't even do that.
Yeah.
I don't even cuss at my shows, and I'm just like sitting there. I'm talking to people, and then a couple weeks later, my drummer's telling me, it's like, oh yeah, your rock talk's kind of cringy, Court. It's like, I thought I was doing okay. Like, what the hell? and then I look back at videos and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're kind of right. So it's like you almost like you have to map it out. Like you have to plan every single detail in order to get that kind of like strength in you and that presence and everything. And people will like just fall in love, I guess. I don't know. I haven't found the secret yet. When I do, I'll tell you.
No, I understand that. You watch these politicians, there's like a lot of videos out there. They'll go to different cities and they'll talk different, completely different.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, that's what you got to do with these fans at the shows. You got to, okay, I'm going to Texas. I'm going to talk a little like this. What's up, Texas? And then you just go to a different state. They're like, yeah, we love this guy. They talk like us.
Exactly. It's just, you have to find like that secret formula. And I'm still learning that, unfortunately. I can't give any advice to any other musicians out there who can. I'm still learning. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I go up there and just act really awkward. And
well, the thing is that this is kind of awkward for me because I was a theater major when I was an undergrad student. And so I would almost think, I'm like, oh, when I was like first starting with Levinia, I was like, oh, this is going to be super simple. have a theater background, whatever. It's going to be easy. I'm a natural performer. And I was super cocky about it. And then my drummer tells me that, and then like my ego got bruised a little bit.
Oh, I thought I was killing it out there. You just killed my ego.
I'm like, dude, really? But then I looked back and I'm like, I realized he's absolutely right. And you're like, okay, well, how do I approach this in a different way? So
right. That's at least one good thing. You're willing to learn. A lot of people don't want to learn. They don't like criticism.
Oh, right. I'm one of those people. I live for criticism. Like I don't mind it, to be honest. Like I don't have like that much of an ego, to be honest with you. I used to when I was first starting out, and I realized that it's only going to get in the way of improvement. And I realized I want to get far in the music world. So it's like, it's either get rid of your ego or you're not going to go anywhere. Right. And I've had bandmates who've had that same attitude of, oh, I'm the best at what I do. And I realize I look at where they're at and they're in the same spot.
Exactly.
So it's just, it's constant improvement. And I feel like that's what a lot of young musicians need to learn that nowadays.
Oh yeah. And consistency.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
They don't get, they want to play guitar, piano, sing, that they don't want to put any time in. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. Earlier, like they want to play video games, but they don't want to sing. It's like, okay, you don't want to be a singer if you're just sitting around playing video games all day. You might think it's cool. You don't want to do it. Like if you want to go to school and be something, you get up and go to school every day. Just like if you want to be a musician, you get up and be a musician. Mm-hmm. People don't get
exactly. 100%. Like I agree with you. That's perfect what you just said.
Yeah, it's perfect. I should put that on a quote on my gravestone.
Do it, dude. I would totally retweet that or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever's more relevant nowadays.
I don't know. I like Instagram a lot more. That's my favorite social media probably. Yeah. There's not a lot of BS on there. It's just pictures that I'm looking at, and it's a lot of aesthetics, not a lot of bullshit. Yeah. Like Facebook and Twitter is a cesspool of garbage, and I don't even want to look at it anymore.
Yeah. It's a lot of on Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah. I like memes, though. The memes that come out of these things are hilarious. I love a good meme.
That's true. If I can get a good laugh out of a meme, it's a good one. And I always save it.
I like really fucked up memes. Like when Juice WRLD passed, I was like, where's those Juice WRLD memes? They come in any second. Aww. And yeah, it's messed up. But they were coming in, yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember. I had a student, one of my students who I teach right now, he's a up and coming rapper. Like this kid's like freaking phenomenal. Like I've never seen a kid, like, he's a freshman in high school and he's like amazing. Wow. He's absolutely amazing. He's a really good kid. And I had this is like shows how like out of touch I am with like media and what's popular and everything. Cause I'm in my late 20s and I don't know what's relevant. That's kind of sad, but he was talking about, no idea. And so he was on Instagram Live and he was crying about Juice, like Juice WRLD. And he was like saying RIP Juice and stuff. And it really made an impact on him. And I could tell. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself, instead of saying, oh, I'm sorry, I know it's like losing a musician who you looked up to, that's always hard. I felt the same when Chester Bennington died. Like, I understand, right. And instead of like really thinking that, the first thought in my head was, who the hell is Juice?
Right.
Like, oh, and I had to Google it. And I feel so ashamed that I had to do that. But I'm like, now that after I did it, like I was able to console him the next day. So no, I'm sorry, I understand how you're going through it, but I had no idea.
You're like, Juice.
I felt so bad
what
too.
The hell is it, Juice?
Like,
right.
It
just sounds like a weird name.
Like what the hell? Like I have no idea. And
did they ban vape juice out there yet?
Yeah, I think so. To be honest, I haven't really been keeping up to date with that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so. Yeah, I have some people in my life who that's a problem for him. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's like, government, leave me alone, dude. I'm going to hit my vape in remembrance of all the old vape smokers.
Yeah. I feel like it's better than cigarette smoking. So.
Oh, yeah, better than that, And
oh, yeah.
It's like, I don't want cigarettes to be illegal, obviously, because I don't care. Oh. But it's like, it's so much worse than the government sitting there like, we care about our kids. But it's like, kids are smoking cigarettes, who? There's kids out in the high school smoking cigarettes out in the shop building. I mean, that's just a tradition in high school. They all smoke behind the shop building.
Everybody. I was not one of those kids who partook in that because I was such a goody two shoes when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. As unmetal as that sounds, I was such a like goody two shoes, quiet kid in the back of the class. You know what I mean? I was really goody.
Me too.
Yeah, so bad. And yeah, but I see that because yeah, vaping it has kind of replaced that whole like aesthetic of smoking, like you said, behind the shop building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's funny too. They actually made it where you can still apparently they haven't done all of it yet, but you'll be able to get tobacco and menthol flavors, of course, but you won't be able to get flavors. I'm like, oh, that's because the tobacco companies are sitting out here lobbying to get this shit banned. That's messed up. That's our government for you.
Yeah, that is messed up. I just feel like
we got money. Okay.
yeah, exactly. It's vaping's vaping. I do have a relative of mine who's 16 and is addicted to marijuana vaping. And
Oh
I'm gonna
God.
be honest with you, that I don't think
I would
that's
just
okay, to be honest.
yeah. If
I'm
I
just
was his
that's
parent,
not
I would
okay.
just like don't do that.
But the parent is refusing to like say anything.
They just don't
So,
care, right?
no,
Yeah.
they do care, but the thing is
Mm.
that they want to be liked as opposed to
Yeah.
doing
Yeah, I'll
parents
say
where it's like
my
you're
aunt
grounded.
was not very liked. I lived with my aunt for my whole high school year
Yeah,
and I did not like her. But I
yeah,
didn't do a lot of stupid shit either. I wasn't
yeah, exactly.
smoking weed. I didn't even lose my virginity until I got out of high school. I mean, I didn't do anything in high school. I didn't do anything in high school at all. So, I don't
Yeah,
know.
and it's like when you're that young, you like I don't think you like hate your parents. Like you always say, "Oh, I hate you," but the thing is that
Right.
when you're older, you appreciate what they did for
Oh
you,
yeah.
and you're like, okay, now I see what you're doing. Like I understand that now, and I took God knows my mom and I got in fights, my dad and I got in fights, and it's just it. I'm just over stupid stuff too. It's like over really
Yeah.
silly things, and then I'm like I said, I'm in my late 20s now, and I am so grateful for what they did, like
Oh yeah.
how put their foot down on a lot of things, and you know what, I'm a better person for it, and that's how I view things. So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like a lot of parents need to do that more and not be like worried about
Right.
whether or not they're liked by their kid. It's like being a teenager, you're never going to really 100% like your parents because like your brain is not fully developed. It's scientifically proven that your brain's not developed until like I think you're 22. I think I
Something. Yeah.
remember. I don't remember what the science is, but your brain's not fully developed, and of course you're going to want to make stupid decisions. That's just how
Right.
that's just called being a teenager, and you're not going to appreciate things until your brain is 100% developed, until you're actually in the workforce or in the real world.
Right.
You're like, there was a reason why my mom did that, or that was a reason why my dad grounded me for something
Yeah.
stupid. Like you
Yeah.
realize it, and you're like even I told my own mom tonight, and I'm like, I'm so grateful that you did this when I was a kid and a teenager and stuff because I'm better for it. So thank you. You finally
Yeah.
end up thanking them in the long run. So
But now
yeah.
you still got people at 30 living at home. I'm like, man, they got to get out there, do something with your
Yeah.
life, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say much about that because I know a lot of people who do live with their parents, and I guess they're saving money as opposed to people like me who are spending a lot of money on rent.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. It's like if I could save an extra $3,000 a month,
I
fuck
would
it.
love that, but yeah, no, yeah, seriously, I agree.
Yeah.
It's
I like
just
my
at the end of
space. I
the day.
love living alone. I
I do
hate
too.
being surrounded by people. Doesn't matter who it is. I don't care. My best friend, my girlfriend, my
Yeah.
anybody. Just leave me
Yeah.
alone for a little bit.
You like your alone time. Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
was talking to my boyfriend about that the other day because I was trying to get him to work out with me. And he was like,
Right.
I kind of like, it's kind of just my time, just kind of go like put my earbuds in and stuff. And I realized that like now it's like, I'm like, oh, I kind of feel the same way when I'm at home. Like right now, like it's about 9:30 at night. Sorry, someone's like trying to get hold of me. Hold on. I'm chilling at home, not planning on doing anything, except
Right.
for grading some papers. But other than that, it's like it's my alone time. It's my time to kind of chill. I can like run around my apartment listening to music and jamming out to stuff that people wouldn't like,
Right.
So yeah.
Yep. I love my space. I love music. I just play music all the time,
Oh,
every
same.
day.
Yeah. Same. I do too. I put my earbuds in and it's like, okay, what are we listening to today? Just random stuff and
Right.
start
Yeah. Now we're
singing.
in a world where you got AirPods in your ears, and I got
Oh
the
yeah.
wire.
I have the wire too.
Wow.
I just try to use these a little bit more. I like these a little bit more to be honest, especially if I'm like working out or something like that, because then I don't have to like have it connected. And I'm notorious for dropping my phone, so that's kind of it's easier for me to have these, and I like them. I like these a little bit better. But I
Yeah.
also just got a new computer, so I don't know like I have to find a proper headset
Wow.
that will go with it. Yeah,
A new computer
yeah.
and new AirPods.
I know Christmas. Love it.
Wow. Christmas.
No,
That's what I'm talking about.
no, I mean my old laptop, it was like 10 years old. And
Yeah.
so my dad was really My dad's amazing. He was nice enough to buy me a new one because I had a really old laptop, and I just said, "Hey, I need a new computer because mine's gonna die any second." So he was cool enough to buy me a new one, and I bought these on my own. So
yeah, I need a better computer. I need like a gaming computer. When you're trying to stream stuff online, you can't do it on like a Mac. You need a really good computer.
Yeah. So actually hit up our drummer Dylan. He's really good at that. He builds like computers and stuff like that. He loves
that's what I need. I need something like that in my life.
Like, just
I don't have any of that.
He'll be able to help you. Like, he's really good at that stuff.
Like, please build me a computer and send it to me.
Exactly.
In the mail.
Exactly.
Don't put drugs in it.
No.
Don't do that. No. Nah. I guess we're gonna wrap this thing up soon. We have been on here for about 45 minutes. But to wrap it up, what was your very first paying job?
My first paying job? I worked as a secretary when I was in college at a medical device company. They created devices for the spine. And that led into a career of medical device work and HR and all that fun stuff. And
that was your first job?
That was my first job as a secretary.
How old were you at that job?
I was about 19 and 20. I worked there for 2 summers. That was my summer job, basically.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have your first job until you were 19?
No. I mean, I did some odd jobs here and there and like different offices and stuff like that. But I was in college when I got my first job. So,
okay. That's cool. Yeah. You got to live your high school years as a high schooler.
I did.
That's fun. And in your own definition, what would you consider to be a real job?
I think a real job is something where you make a consistent like paycheck, something that you get up, go to do like every day or maybe a couple times a week. I think that's a real job. Basically something you get paid to do, whether it be like teaching or teaching voice or whatever, like, just where you get a consistent kind of.
Right.
So.
Cool. Good definition. That's what, that's a real job for you. Yeah. No, the podcast is called, But Do You Have a Real Job? Because being an entrepreneur or a musician or anything, if you tell somebody that, oh, I do music, I'm like, yeah, but do you have a real job? So.
You're trying to make it your real job.
Right. Everybody's always got their own thing going on. You got your side hustle going on. We all got our side hustles going on.
It's called being an English teacher to freshmen and sophomores in high school. That's very fun.
I'm sure that could be frustrating at times.
It is. But the cool thing is, at the end of the day, I can go home and write a song about it, and I'm totally fine the next day. So we're good.
Exactly. So where should people find your music if they were trying to find you? YouTube, Spotify?
YouTube's anything. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, any place you want to go look, we're on there. So, and we're looking forward to having you guys listen to our new stuff because that's going to be.
When is that coming out? The new stuff?
Soon. We're going to sit on it a little bit. We just finished recording about 2 weeks ago. I have to go in and finish up recording one of the songs in February. But other than that, we're very close to being done, and it's like a step up from our last EP, Liberation. But any place you want to find us, just follow us on Instagram. We post on there about where you can find our stuff, and we always announce random stuff here and there.
Yes, yeah, I feel that. Cool. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. I hope you guys have a great year and put out your new shit, and it kills.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you asking me to come on here. It was really cool. I appreciate it. You're actually my first podcast, believe it or not. So I'm very excited.
Really? Yeah. I hope you had a good time. It was fun.
I did. It was fun. Thank you.
I had a fan that was actually like, I always ask my fans, I was like, who do I need to bring on the podcast? And somebody was a fan of your music. I'm like, you should get this person. So I checked you out. I was like, all right, that's cool. I'll do it. And then now here we are. So.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
That's so cool. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you again for coming on.
No problem.
Hope you guys, I guess the band's not there. Hope you have a great night.
I will tell them. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good evening, okay?
Yeah, thank you. You too. See ya.
Bye.
But do you have a real job?